we got the cacao, we got the incense in the back. So I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. How would you feel if I met the person that you're interested in, or your theoretical, hypothetical boyfriend, and one of the first things I said to you was, he is just like you? How would you respond? If your immediate reaction is, no, I'm not, how could you say that? Damn, that's good. Anyway, we have a problem. Because chances are the people in your life are just like you in one way or the other. I'm sure you've all heard the saying, you are your 5 closest friends. Yeah, well, science has looked into this for many, many years, and this is a known, tested phenomenon now, that the more time and energy you spend with someone, the more they're going to be like you. But more importantly than that, you are an energetic match for those around you. So if you were to look at this from the multiverse, if you will, this is your wavelength doing its thing, having its frequency across the universe, across the realms. And then here comes the person that you're down bad for, and oh, look at that. You guys are vibe. Like energies attract each other. And for somebody that's now on the other side, having removed all my old negative people in my life and now only attracting good ones, I think this is a great thing. I know in the moment when you're around crappy people, it doesn't feel so good, but I'm here to tell you that it is actually a great thing because you can use it to learn as much or as little about yourself as you want. You can put a horse in the desert in front of water, but you can't make the horse drink the water kind of thing. So in this scenario, let's say we're the horse and we're put in front of water. This is granted that you are attracting a more positive person in your life because water is the example. The water can't make you drink it. It can't say, drink me, and pull you to the water. No, the horse has to be thirsty enough to actually get the benefits from drinking the water. However, the water in this scenario could also be somebody that has not been the best influence in your life. You could absolutely be the horse and drink from the water in this situation because you can learn as much from this experience and from this person as possible and turn whatever actions they're throwing your way into positive lessons and experiences. Make it your goal to always turn deeper inward. This can be applied to literally every single person in your life. I was just playing a game of We're Not Really Strangers, and one of the questions I had to ask was, has your life ever been changed by a stranger? The person answered yes, which just proves my point that you could literally meet someone on the street. It could be the most minute, minuscule interaction in comparison to the amount of time and quality and lessons you learned from somebody else potentially closer in your life. It doesn't matter. If you're in the right energetic headspace, if you're in the right frequency, if you have the right attitude and intention, you can learn just as much, if not more, about yourself, about your life, about what you want in your life from that stranger than you could from your mother, let's say. I promise you, you will be so surprised at how much more present, meaningful, life-changing your interactions will be when you go into it with this mentality of openness, of love, being able to receive love, receive wisdom, receive guidance, receive joy. When you're in that receiving energy, when you're tapped into your feminine energy, you will not believe the interactions you have with people both close and far to you, old and new, strangers and best friends. You are just a magnet for positive energy. You are a magnet for like energy and people that also share that soul and connection, and you will just have these positive, beautiful interactions that you can learn so much from. And for those that know me know that I always film so intuitively, and it's because of my own personal testimony that I feel so passionately and strongly about filming this video today. In my life currently, there are a few new characters in my story, very much aligned with where I am mentally, very much aligned with my values, very much aligned with my hobbies, very much aligned with my mentality, very loving, very supportive, very receptive, meaning when I'm talking about my life, my story, my goals, this, that, and the third, they're all very like, yes, go for it, continue. I think you're on this path. I think you're doing great. You're doing amazing, sweetie. Obviously, you girls all know how that's very much my energy. Look at what I'm doing on this channel. However, in my past, there was a blockage between my consciousness and my subconscious. And that block was I had a limiting belief belief that I couldn't make meaningful friendships or relationships of any kind. I just felt very alone, very isolated. I was never gonna find someone that got me, or I was never gonna feel seen or understood, without me even realizing I wasn't manifesting and attracting like energy back to me, because my energy was at a point where I only knew what it was like to give to people and not to receive from people as well. I was in this really unbalanced feeling of the cup situation. It's like on the airport when they say, if there's an emergency, you put on your own oxygen mask first and then you can help people. The same goes for spiritual energy and your own life source, right? So we use the analogy, for those who aren't familiar, as a cup. You're pouring into your own cup with love and light and joy and bliss and happiness. It's kind of like the Ace of Cups tarot card. That's how I visualize it in my head. I was at a point where I was filling up the cups of other people and not myself, hoping or expecting that they would do the same for me in return. So instead of me pouring into my cup, them pouring into their cup, and then I have this abundance that pours over, essentially, I was thinking of, sorry not to do this again, this situation, like a cross cup filling thing. But the thing is, I wasn't attracting that because those people only knew how to take. These people were not spiritually in tune or coming from a place of abundance and love, so their cup also wasn't overflowing and infinite. They only had a limited amount of energy to get them through, and that energy was coming from other people. People who thrive and get their life source off of taking from other people and draining other people's energy. So for a while in my life, I kind of just pessimistically accepted the fact that I might end up alone or be alone, whether it's romantically or in friendships, besides the few close people in my life, like my mom, my best friend, my sister. And I really started to notice the shift as I've gone through university, because the peak roughness part of my tension or strain relationships with female friends or relationships in general was really in high school. Middle school to high school, I was like bullied, hated my life, not fun. Not the point though. The point is, throughout these past few years of being in university, I've started to let go of those guards I had. And so each year, I basically just noticed myself being more open and being more receptive and actually having an energy that was welcoming to people. Again, not to say that I was a bitch before and people were like, oh, I don't want to come up to her. I've always been kind. I've always had a smile on my face. I've always been nice to people when I interact with them. But when it came to actually connecting with people to a point where I now call it a relationship in my life, or someone that I'm seeing consistently, or someone that I'm a little more vulnerable with, I wasn't attracting any of that. I was very much on my own, doing my own thing and having a lot of like acquaintance type social interactions. Now it's like every other person I meet is somebody where I'm like, what the F? Where have you been all my life? How are we so in sync? It's like crazy to think about. Well, it's because I've taken so much time to learn the lessons I've learned from my past relationships in my life, from the mirrors and the projections that were coming to me from the current relationships or the most prominent and prevalent relationships in my life at certain checkpoints, and learning the lessons from them, taking the lessons from them, not saying, oh my gosh, this person's such an a-hole, no wonder I can't find anyone, saying, okay, this person's acting this way, it's hurting me. Number one, why is it hurting me? Where does this trigger stem from? What is the root cause of my pain? Is it a childhood memory? Is it a childhood conditioning? Is it maybe ancestral trauma? Is it biological programming? Because the eggs that are in our grandmother are the eggs that are in us now. They're carried 3 generations. We have 15 to 20 generations worth of epigenetic programming and trauma in our bodies. So where is this coming from? Can I trace it back to the source? Then I feel a little bit better because I realize this person's just scratching my skin, right? Which is something that's annoying. Sure, I don't want people, scratching my skin and poking me all the time, but the reason why it hurts isn't because they're poking me, it's because there's already a scab there. There's already a scar there. It's already a sensitive area. So I have to actually go in, find the wound, heal the wound, and then this person can poke me all they want. But because I'm on a journey of healing and enlightenment, that person is gonna soon no longer be someone I'm attracting in my life. I've learned my lesson. I'm grateful for the experience I've had with this person, and now I'm moving on. I'm letting go. There's no more reason. They're not serving me anymore. And I can have gratitude for that. And then I can also have compassion for whatever person, because I can recognize also maybe where they're coming from. If I can recognize there's certain patterns and tendencies in the way they handle anger, in the way they handle emotions, in the way they handle vulnerability, then I could say, okay, well, this person is presenting this behavior most likely because they come from this kind of childhood, most likely because they've learned this attachment style, most likely because they've had this sort of trauma in their life. And then I look at them and I just see a 5-year-old child who didn't know any better, who was only trying to survive and get the love and the care they needed to actually sustain their life. Because at the end of the day, as much as we do have a soul and we're consciousness, we're also humans. We have an animal body with instinctive nature. And our number one job from the moment we're born is to try to keep us alive. So we're going to adapt our traits in order to keep us alive. And some people, unfortunately, grow up in less than ideal households, less than ideal family dynamics, less than ideal circumstances where they have to learn negative behaviors in order to keep themselves safe. And for someone so privileged as I am, I can't help but think, wow, I'm grateful that one, not only did I not have that growing up, but two, also I have the privilege to now move from the places of hurt and trauma that I have. I feel privileged enough to be able to be in an environment, in a space where I'm actually allowed to grow, where I have the time, where I have the room, the feeling of safety in my space and by the people around me to actually go deeper, to actually do the internal work, to have the resources I have, like the internet, this channel, or therapy, or my journals, or whatever it may be that I've used as outlets to heal and help people. I'm so effing lucky to have those things. And yes, while a lot of people that have caused you harm also have the same resources as you, they don't have the mentality you do. So that's where it's different. As much as they hate their life, as much as they hate themselves, as much as they hate where they are, do not feel like they are actually capable, have the freedom, have the willpower to make the change. That was a bar. It's uncomfortable to change, but it's also even more uncomfortable to stay the same. Some people don't know that though. Some people think, you know what, like, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like my job. I don't like my situation, but this is as good as it's gonna get for me. Some people really live their life like that. Some people really think like it doesn't get any better than this. And they have no control over how high they reach. And all the people that I've run into the most hurt and harm and trouble and trauma with are those people that have such a limited in the box mindset, who don't think they have what it takes or have the power to absolutely change their life or change the way they think or change the way they are. They just think it is what it is. That's it. It is what it is. No, it's not. It's not it is what it is. So for you watching, you have to recognize and notice if those are the people around you. Are you attracting people that are like, it is what it is? Are you surrounded by those people? Or are you surrounded by people that say, I'm in the dirt, I'm in the mud right now, but you know what? I'm gonna put on my rain boots and keep on walking. Or I'm gonna plant some seeds right now while the soil's still damp. There's different attitudes people have towards life. And that's also the reason why you see so many people, the most successful people in the world, always have these really intense, dramatic life stories. Usually people that are really successful, their earliest years are down here in the slumps. So don't tell me it is what it is, because the people with the worst cards, worse than me, worse than you, will never even be able to understand and make it so far up to the top, they're not even looking at us right now. But bringing it back into my personal story a little bit, the people in my life right now and the new characters that are in my life right now are people that are so energetically linked up to who I am, because I'm now in a place where I am not only from a personal standpoint having a consistent and a clear communication channel between my mind and my body, but my heart is also open to receive. My heart is also open to meet people that might share some energy with me. And just to prove it even more, the same few people that I'm referring to right now are all people that I have seen before in my past throughout the last, let's say, year or two, but not have connected with. Why is it that now I am having these relationships with these people if I met them before? See what I'm saying? The craziest part is I went out for coffee with one of my girlfriends today. One of them I'm obviously referring to, having a great conversation. We were talking about a few things that are really close to my heart right now, things that I'm talking about in this video. I'm just like, wow, it's so crazy. You're like taking the words out of my mouth. We end up saying our goodbyes, but I end up staying at the coffee shop for a little longer. As I'm there, run into another one of these girlfriends that I'm referring to, and we literally have an overlapping conversation. Like the conversation I just had with the one girl is completely energetically perfectly in line with the conversation right now I'm having with the next girl. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're also incredibly cool and beautiful and smart and supportive, and you've learned so much from your past, and you're just such a loving, receptive, open energy. So this all goes to say that basically these people that are now showing up in my life are a physical manifestation and blueprint for the certain energy I'm attracting into my life, and then also certain lessons that they're helping me learn. Granted, I'm taking the red pill and I'm like, I want to learn all the lessons I possibly can from these people, whether they're indirectly giving me the water or not. And I start to learn more about myself. I wouldn't have learned that if they weren't in my life, and they wouldn't be in my life if they weren't an energetic match for me. And if I wasn't taking the time every day to look myself in the mirror and say, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm on my divine path, and meditate and journal and do all these things to help me be 1% better every day, to help me be more on my divine path, to help me be more in line with my soul and in the present moment and all this stuff, this all would never have happened. So it's this long grapevine, but the point is it always starts with yourself. It always will start and end with you, and there is not a moment in time where you are not fully in control of yourself in the present moment, because that's all we have, babe. That's all we have. All we know is the present moment right now. The past isn't real, the future isn't real, but for all intents and purposes, let's just say we are always in the present moment, just experiencing different versions of it. It's like when you have a book. We read a book in a certain order, but the pages are always existing in the present moment, no matter what page you turn to, right? It's just a matter of what page you're turning to. I want to attract a certain energy, so I'm being a certain energy. I'm being a certain energy, so I'm attracting a certain type of person. And because I'm attracting a certain type of person, I'm learning the lessons I need to learn to then continue to be that better version of that energy. You can be as attractive as you want, but it's never going to be your looks that make a person say, wow, there's just something different about her. Or, I don't know, there's just something off about her. I can't put my finger on it. Because you feel energetic pull towards certain people, and then it's only when you start talking to somebody that your intuition or your energetic feeling is confirmed. How many times, though, do we not listen to our intuition? How many times do we have a certain feeling about someone and they're like, oh, no, I don't know, I'm second guessing myself. Give them a chance and then they prove us right. Yeah, it's because our energy knows, our soul knows before we do. And it doesn't matter what level of your spiritual journey you are. There's been life or death situations where the least religious, least spiritual people had a gut feeling and then it literally saved their life. Now, this is a skill that you can train and work like any other muscle in your body. You can work and train your brain to be more intuitive, to read energy better, absolutely. But the point is, we've all naturally had this undescribable feeling or sense or vibe we pick up from certain people that are telling us, yeah, go to them, or no, stay away. So work on your energy, and more importantly, trust your energy. If you don't like your energy right now, that's fine, because we've all been there. However, you have to trust yourself enough to know, and also have the intention that you are moving towards a better energy, an energy you like more, a feeling that you love yourself more, whatever the case may be. You're moving basically in the right direction. You have to trust that you're at least taking the steps to one day be in a place where you completely love your energy, no questions asked. If you at least have those good intentions, you're already beating a lot of people, because a lot of people don't have good intentions and good energy that not only they feel in themselves, but are also putting it outwards to people. A lot of people are putting bad energy out there and sending negative energy to other people. If you're working towards fixing that and healing that, then the universe is going to see that you're working towards it and is going to help you on that journey. You have to work on your energy. That is the most important thing, because it's also your energy that helps build your attractiveness. Babe, I wasn't naturally this girl and then because I was this girl had perfect energy. No, I was a girl who worked on her energy, which led her to be this girl now. It was because of my energy and my intentions that I look the way I do now, that I am the person I am now, that I have the personality that I do now, that I have the people in my life that I do now, because I sat myself down and worked on my energy. I did the shadow work. I did the inner child healing. I did the journaling. I did the self-reflection. I showed myself where I had flaws, or I needed to be accountable, or I needed to give myself a little extra love, or I needed to give someone else a little extra love, or I needed to let go and do all those things, so that at the end of the day, when I'm sitting crisscross applesauce, oming my life away, putting on my vibrations, I can, with a clear head and a clear consciousness, see the version of myself I want to be. I visualized everything about her I could: her hair, her eyes, her nose, her skin, her body, the way she walked, the way she dressed, the way she she talked, her lifestyle. I manifested all this. And it was because of my energy. I worked on my energy. That's the number one thing I'm always going to work on. Everything I'm doing, all the intentions I'm putting into myself, at the end of the day, the root is in nurturing myself from a soul point of view, not from a superficial point of view, not from a I want to look like this beauty standard or I want his attention so I'm gonna do this. No, it's because I'm watering my own garden. You can stand outside forever waiting for a butterfly to fall on your finger, or you can take the time to build a beautiful garden and sanctuary where all the butterflies come to you and live in your habitat. That's what I do because I love myself and I love my energy and I love my soul and I know I deserve to have the best and be the best for what that looks like to me. I put in the time and the care and the TLC literally to make sure I'm watering and gardening the environment so that I can show up and look like this on camera, and so that I can show up and be this person on camera, and so that I can show up and meet people that I meet in real life or do whatever it is I want to do. A lot of society has it all backwards. It's always going to start from within, and it's always going to start from the energy that you literally have full control over. You literally have full control right now over your intention, your attitude, and the present moment. And that's literally all you need to manifest everything you've ever wanted. Unlike everything superficial, your energy is not something you have to prove. It's something that you are. People that have this social persona, this mask, this need to be beautiful, be powerful, look influential, whatever the case may be, it's something they have to prove. So they take all of these measures that all, again, stem from the man-made world and are all pouring into the cup of someone else. It's a limited energy source to try prove something. Does that mean when I look at someone with a Gucci shirt on, I think, wow, they're rich? No, because deep down inside, energy doesn't lie. So I can see right past these things. As opposed to someone like, let's say, the wizard Liz. You look at her and you know she is beautiful. Not because she's tried really hard to prove that to you, but because she just is. And you can literally see it when you look at her videos, let's say her first few videos to her videos now, her face has significantly changed and she continues to get more beautiful because she is beautiful. Her energy is beautiful. If you actually read her aura, she has a very, very beautiful, magnetic, colorful aura. She is beautiful because that's what her energy is. You are your energy before anything else. My physical appearance has done 180 after 180 after 180 every time I've had an ego death or an energy shift or a change in my identity or a change in my personality or a change in my intentions. I am this level of beauty. I am this level of love. I am this level of charm now because that's what my energy is. So the part of my brain and my subconscious that is hearing my voice go off and say, yep, I am beautiful. I look like this. I have this reality, is gonna start getting its workers, which in this case are just the wired connections in my brain, to start producing more of that. And because it's producing more and more and more of that, it's going to physically show up in the way I look, in my reality, in my presence. So the next time you hear someone say, just be yourself, stay true to you, be authentic, I'm gonna tell you the absolute same thing. Be you, be authentic, stay true to you, but stay true to your energy. Whatever authenticity looks like to you, which to sum up my whole spiritual journey and my journey in finding that is love and is light. At your source, that's really what you are, just pure love, pure light. And so when someone says be authentic, that's what I want you to think of. The part of you that is infinitely and abundantly flowing in love. That's who you are at your core. So be that. Absolutely. Be that, because that is the energy that is speaking for you no matter what room you walk in, and is going to be the energy that attracts you to all the opportunities you want, all the relationships you want. It's your energy that's going to connect you right now to that you in that reality. It's going to mesh them so that that is your present moment in this physical reality, okay? Your energy is priceless and it's what speaks the most volumes for you. And if you are somebody that is working towards improving your energy, there's nothing else you have to prove. A lot of the times we use our energy and put them into things that are limited sources of abundance and love. So they often leave us feeling lack, feeling drained, and that ultimately we have to prove ourselves to get the certain outcome that we want. That is wrong. That is not the way the universe works. The way it works is you have to be the energy you want to attract. So if you want this certain outcome, be the person that energetically matches that certain outcome. And when you are being that energy, energy, you are doing so from a place that doesn't leave you lacking. It leaves you overflowing with that love and abundance so that I can literally pour into the reality that you want. There is nothing you need to prove. You don't need to prove you're worthy of love. You don't need to prove you're beautiful. You don't need to prove you're successful. You don't need to prove that you're worth this man's time. No, you need to be the physical representation of what it means to be love, of what it means to be beauty, of what it means to be grace, strength. I don't care, whatever it is, you have to be it. You don't need to prove it because your energy is the most expensive currency out there, okay? Woo! This really got me going. Before I close out this video, for those of you who are a subscriber and have kept up with me, I need to first give you an apology and say how much I love you and how thankful I am for you. I've gotten so many messages being like, where the F are your YouTube videos? And good, clock my tea. If I'm ever MIA, I want you to clock my tea. And first of all, it is such a weird shock to the system almost to know that I'm at a place now where people are actually keeping up with me and waiting and expecting to hear from me and see from me, because obviously this YouTube journey is a long one, and so for so long I didn't have returning subscribers, right? But now we have this community of spiritual baddies, and it's like, oh my god, that is such a weird feeling in the best way possible. So just thank you for all of those of you who have checked up on me or clocked my tea, whatever it is. Thank you so much. Trust me, it has killed me as much as it has you to not film videos, because this is really my life, and when I get like this, it reminds me how much I love it. To be completely honest with you, I unfortunately had a loss in the family. My nan passed away, and so naturally I just needed to take a break to go through that process in general. Again, I filmed so intuitively. I didn't want to film when I wasn't 100% sure of my state or being 100% in my best energy. You know what I mean? So I just intuitively took as much time as I needed to return back to a place where I could do this and also just be magnetic and motivated to film a video again. So just know there hasn't been a day that's gone by this past month where I haven't thought of you. I have wanted to return back to this as quickly as I possibly could, but I also really tried to give myself grace and not rush through it, because I have a tendency to be a perfectionist, go-getter, workaholic, overthinker, all of the above. And then I just have to remind myself exactly what I told you. My energy is my energy, and it's gonna attract the right people. It needs to attract no matter how long in time I take a break. So that's why I was gone for a little while. I apologize for those who weren't aware or have been waiting for me. I love you so much, and I'm really, really grateful to have that relationship with you, truly. And I will be returning back to a normal schedule of Transformation Tuesdays. Now, the last video that is up on my channel right now, the attachment styles, was one I filmed before she passed. So I really haven't filmed in a month. That's also why for me right now, filming this video, it feels so different, because I haven't actually sat down, put my camera up, put my lighting up, did my makeup in a really, really long time. So the video that just came out is one that I filmed before. This is my newest video since that, and now obviously moving forward we'll be entering a new chapter together. So that's that. I hope you enjoy this first video back, let's say. I'm excited to be back, and I love you so much, and I'm so thankful you're here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're resetting and resting after that full moon intenseness. And as always, I will see you next Transformation Tuesday.